You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to another episode of your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and man, what a day it is today. As a Marlins fan, you're just moving forward a little bit here and there, playing better baseball day in and day out, and you run into a buzzsaw today in Philly with Christopher Sanchez on the mound, and of course the Phillies with Harper and Schwarber on the IL now, joining Real Muto. You're thinking that the Phillies need an outstanding pitching performance to get the win. That's exactly what they got today against the Miami Marlins. This is your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. I'm Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, and we start right now. So happy to have you with me, as always, every single day. Thank you for making your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And meanwhile, today's episode is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. The right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. It's a good time of the year to be in Philadelphia. They were doing fireworks after the game tonight. The series is 1-1. The season series 3-2 Philly. They're the best team in baseball. Four of the six ERA leaders of the six National League ERA leaders, and the top three are Phillies pitchers. Ranger Suarez, who they won't see this weekend, Christopher Sanchez, and Zach Wheeler. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, right? When you think about the way the Phillies have pitched this year, you got Real Muto, your all-star catcher, on the IL. Harper, the starting first baseman for the National League, on the IL, and Schwarber, an all-star outfielder, one of the better hitters on the team. So that's three of your very top guys on offense. Three of your four, maybe three of your five. We're splitting hairs, and they're on the IL. So what do you do right away? You throw Christopher Sanchez on the mound, and he goes out there and throws a complete game three hitter, 9 strikeouts. And I know the Marlins are not a good team. They can't hit. I mean, we talk about this all the time. They just can't hit. They cannot hit. And, it's unfortunate. They need a guy in the middle of the lineup. If they had a good record and they were in contention, you'd be thinking about a trade to bring somebody into the middle of that lineup. But not right now. Not the way this team's playing, and not with their record and everything. You're going to be a seller, not a buyer. I mean, it's the first shutout and the first complete game of Christopher Sanchez's career. Big day for him. Harper with the hamstring, Schwarber with the groin on the 10-day injured list. Let's talk about Sanchez for a minute, though. I mean, this dude, he was unbelievable today. I mean, he's legit a really good pitcher, but he was unbelievable today, guys. When you're talking about a guy who goes out there and he throw 101 pitches, this dude? 101 pitches for Sanchez. Not one Marlin had an extra base hit. Only 2 Marlins made it to second base. He didn't walk anyone. I mean, anyone. Nobody. He didn't walk anybody. I mean, this dude, what a game. They only left 2 runners on base the whole game. Nobody had 2 hits. Berger, Lopez, Brujan had a hit apiece. They've been the ones hitting lately. No surprise there. Philly didn't have much going on either. We're going to talk about Sanchez in a minute. He's what they had going on. Offensively, Stott's the leadoff man. He had 2 RBIs. Guess how many hits he had? None. Bagel. 0. No hits. RBI groundout, sacrifice fly. Best hit ball he hit in the game was robbed in left center on a diving grab by Vidal Brujan. And I'll tell you something, playing center field like that, he doesn't play there very often. A little easier to play center than it is left or right, except for the fact that you have to cover so much ground. But when the ball comes off the bat of a lefty, you know it's going to be slicing a little bit that way if he's hits it straight or to the opposite field. Same thing with a righty. It's going to slice that way. Sometimes they may hook it, but you can tell that spin pretty easy off the bat. Not a bad thing, but he was in the shadow and he had to run into the sun to make the catch. That is very difficult to do. Diving grab by Vidal. Good job by him. Anyway, Stott 0 for 3 with 2 RBIs. This kind of day it was for the Phillies, and they win 2-0. That's all they needed was a guy who's not even a leadoff guy in the leadoff spot because of all the injuries. And what's he doing? He's going bananas. Trey Turner, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Boom, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. I love him. Boom, boom, boom. Dude is awesome. Marsh, 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Castellanos, 1 for 4. Clemens, yes, Clemens. Cody Clemens, I believe, Roger's son, the Rocket, 0 for 3, almost like he was facing his father. 1 for 3 with a run scored for Merrifield. 1 for 2 for Stubbs. 1 for 3 with a run scored for Rojas. And that was amazing what Rojas did. Whatever inning that was. We're going to get to that in a minute, too, and tell you how all these things happened because, man, he had a base hit up the middle, go off the lip. It's unbelievable. The lip of the back of the mound goes up the middle, just a chopper, base hit, single. Nobody's thinking to, are they? He is. He starts motoring around first, beats it into second. Pretty close play, not too close, but he beats the throw. Goes to third on a wild pitch and ends up coming around to score on a sacrifice fly. That was all Rojas, an incredible job in that inning run of the bases by Johan Rojas. You don't see a lot of that in Major League Baseball anymore. It reminds you of the days of like a Ricky Henderson, steal second, go to third. I mean, it just was unbelievable. Anyway, for the Marlins on the hill, tough day for Kyle Tyler. Not that he didn't look good. He did. 4 2/3. He gives up 4 hits, 1 earned run, walks 2, strikes out 4. 81 pitches. ERA is 3.38. After 4 2/3, Skip said he'd seen enough or decided that he'd seen enough. 1 run, it was earned, 4 strikeouts, I said. Cronin comes in, and Declan, man, in 2 1/3, he only gave up 1 hit, struck out 4. Awesome job by Cronin. Baucher comes in, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and a walk in 2/3 of an inning. Not a good job by Calvin tonight. And then Chagua comes in, J.C. Chagua comes in, 1/3 of an inning, no problem there, 4 pitches. He gets out of it. Meanwhile, how about this for Christopher Sanchez in Philly? Ring the bell. Philadelphia Freedom, baby. 9 innings. 9 innings. Do you know what that is, anybody? If you're under the age of 40, you probably don't know what it is to see a starting pitcher go 9 innings. Oh, Lord. Christopher Sanchez did it today. 3 hits, 9 strikeouts. That's it. No walks, no nothing. No nothing. And just a great job by Sanchez all day long. I mean, that sinker mid-90s and the changeup that dances like a knuckleball, mid-80s. You're going mid-90s sinker. Your sinker's your fastball. He doesn't throw fastballs. He throws a mid-90s sinker, a mid-80s changeup that looks like a knuckleball coming in, and just enough of the breaking stuff to keep you honest. He was filthy today. Struck out the side in the 6th, struck out Josh Bell to end the game, hitting 96, 97 on the gun in the later innings. I mean, this dude, what do you talk about with Suarez and with Wheeler and Nola, this pitching, 4 aces for the Phillies, man. 4 aces. And you got Bryce Harper. Not right now because on the IL, but you got Bryce Harper. So a good job today by Sanchez, to say the least, for Philly on a day when they put Harper and Schwarber on the IL. And, you know, obviously on a day like that, you need defense to win you games, and that's what they're doing. That is what they are doing right now in Philadelphia. Those pitchers have carried this team. They really have. They've carried this team. And just an unbelievable. And by the way, the under came in today. And the Marlins were shut out 2-0. So the under comes in, right? So the under comes in. And Philadelphia goes to 54-28, by the way. Miami 29-53, just 25 games out. 10 behind the Nats and 12 behind the Mets now. Philly with an 8.5 game lead over Atlanta. The Mets creeping. 13 back, 39-39. Come on out and beat the Mets. I mean the Mets. Whatever they are. But, yeah. So, anyway, the Marlins fall to 29-53. Do we have time to hit the box real quick before we hit the break? Yes, we do. What a game for the Phillies. And I'm sorry, not the box. Where are you? There we go, the play-by-play. And so here we go, man. It was just one of those games for the Marlins. And I'm excited right now to tell you how this all unfolded. I mean, look, they can't hit. They can't hit. It's 3-hitter. They can't hit. They never hit. You guys know this. They'll explode once in a while, but they just don't hit. And you're not going to win a lot when you don't hit, especially when you're facing pitchers like the Phillies have. They got lucky yesterday on the pitch to Otto Lopez that wasn't called a strike for Wheeler. That ends the inning, and they don't score there. And Wheeler does yesterday what Sanchez did today and what they did in the opener. Not in the opener, I'm sorry, excuse me. What so many other pitchers have done to the Marlins this year. Game 3 is tomorrow, and obviously you have a Roddery Munoz, Aaron Nola matchup. Nola, another one of those aces for Philly. And then on Sunday, on top of that, you come back in Game 4, and there's Ranger Suarez. So you come to Philadelphia as a last-place team, 25 games out, right? And you face 4 aces in a row. I mean, is this like the Orioles? Palmer, Dobson, Cuellar, and McNally. You know what I'm saying? Yankees had some staffs and rotations like that with Clemens and Pettit and Alduque and guys like that. But, man, the Phillies are looking loaded. Who's going to beat a team with 4 aces in the postseason? Especially they can pitch deep into games, save the arms of the bullpen, and that is just something, man. We're going to come back in just a minute and do the box score for you. Time to take our first break of the show. Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Which hand is it? There it is, right down there. Everything in there. See, at Jim Grease _ on social media. 2-0 Marlins lose in Philly. 1-1 in the series. Going into tomorrow with Roddery Munoz on the mound against Aaron Nola. First pitch at 4:10 Eastern. Tomorrow. They lose 2-0, 3-hitter by Sanchez, the shutout, the first of his career, the complete game, the first of his career as well, and we are here live after every Marlins game. That's right, you're Locked On Marlins Postcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, and also here on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. I'm Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. I tell you that a million times, I want you to remember me. I like it. Anyway, it's time to hit the first break. On the other side, we'll take you through the play-by-play, look at the recap, and get you ready for tomorrow, along with some fun, entertaining Marlins and baseball talk we like to think, and we will do it in just a second. Locked On Marlins Postcast. Oh, baby, what a day it is. You know why it's such a beautiful day? It's a beautiful day because this episode of your Locked On Marlins Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Yeah. With summer travel heating up, especially for baseball games, it's time to explore those U.S. cities you always secretly wanted to learn more about. Shh, don't tell anyone, but now tell them all. Yes, we're talking about your rivals' cities. Invade Philadelphia, invade New York, invade anywhere you want to go see the Marlins play. Washington, they just went there. With hotels, bed and breakfast, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more. On Booking.com, you might just find your perfect stay. You just might find, even in your baseball rival city. I love traveling around the country, going to stadiums. I've done it for so long, and some of the most beautiful things you'll ever see on those trips. I did them with my dad as a kid, and, you know, going on the road to see your team play. Let's face it, there's no atmosphere. There's no ambiance at Lone Depot. It's a great place, but it's empty. You know what I'm saying? So you travel on the road, you go to a packed stadium in Philadelphia. Something like that is a trip of a lifetime for some people. You got to love it. Plus, you get those cheesesteaks and all those things that go with it. Absolutely. From hotels that look over stadiums to family-friendly resorts, Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. for your summer travel this MLB season. And right now, the right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. Book today on Booking.com on the site or in the Booking.com app. There it is. It only took a minute. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I should have the music going because I love sports so much. I'm a freak. Look at me. I'm wearing an independent baseball league jersey from the year 2000, 1 year only. What kind of sports fan are you? Probably like me, right? I love them so much I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and the sports aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel.com/lockedon and start making the most out of your summer with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Love you, FanDuel. Thank you very much, as well as thanking our friends at Booking.com. And, of course, Booking.com is the presenting sponsor of tonight's show, brought to you by Booking.com. Yeah, the right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rival, especially when you win. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. A little close-up today on the camera. I apologize for that, but I mean, you know, you're handsome to do it. But what I'm saying is it's a great, great day as a baseball fan. Anytime you get to see a competitive game, your team's playing well, Tyler, you're looking at prospects coming up, people coming up from minors to replace Weathers, to replace Luzardo, to replace Alcantara. All these pitchers who are out right now, Cabrera, Sanchez, right? You've seen so many pitchers this year. You've had players, position players coming up, and you've seen some kids come up who look like they might stick around and have a good career. And you've showcased some people who you're going to trade. Let's be real. But when I think about the Marlins season so far, I think about the losing streaks. I think about the 9-gamer, the 6-gamer, the 2 5-gamers. Those are the first thing I think about. Well, maybe not. The first thing's the injuries to the pitching. Weathers and Luzardo on top of Alcantara. Those are your top 3 pitchers. Top 3. And they're all on the IL, the politically correct version of the disabled list. The IL, that's what they're on now. And so pitchers have been stepping up. Tyler, one of them today. Braxton Garrett, also, by the way, on the IL. They have a whole rotation on there, plus some relievers. And, it's just tough. But day in and day out, they play hard. They compete. They don't have a big gun in the middle of the lineup. They don't hit. They never hit. Your pitching staff's not going well. Bring them in to face the Marlins. I didn't know if anybody was going to score in Kansas City the way those two teams hit the ball. Marlins and the Royals. Is that good? We got it? They not like us. They not like us. All right, here we go. I wonder if Meek Mill likes that song. He's that Philly rapper right there. You love Philly rapper Meek Mill if you're from Phils. Anyway, so Marlins win. Marlins lose 2-0. Phillies at the shutout. Sanchez looking like a world. I mentioned last segment, 96-mile-an-hour sinker. Kevin Brown territory, Marlins fans. You remember that? 90s, mid to high 90s sinker. And then, of course, you know what I mean, that devastating changeup in back of it. So think about it. You're throwing a 96-mile-an-hour sinker. It's dropping down as it's coming in, which makes that ball extremely heavy. So many groundouts. All you can do is chop that thing or swing and miss. And then he backs it up with that changeup, 10 miles an hour slower at 85, 86, and it's dancing like a knuckle. I mean, come on. John Kruk was talking on the telecast today, the Phillies color guy. I love Crookie, by the way, but he was talking about that breaking ball and about the changeup dancing. It's like, dude, this just isn't fair, man. This just is not fair right now. And that's a tough one, absolutely tough one for them, because when you're facing a guy who throws that hard and the bottom just drops out of that pitch and then he starts throwing something slower that's dancing, you have no chance. You have nothing. He struck out 9. Nobody walked. The Marlins don't draw walks anyway. And it's just a tough one for them. But these young hitters are learning. They're facing great pitching. I don't know how anybody hits the pitching in the major leagues now anyway, with all the crap that they have going on. But let's take a look through the play-by-play before we hit the next break and tell you kind of what happened in this game. We take you through every day, and then at the end we'll look at the recap and see if we missed anything. De La Cruz strikes out to start the game, swinging. He was the leadoff man today for Miami as Skip keeps tinkering with that lineup. But, man, the sinker 94, sinker 96, and the 2 changeups in between at 86 miles an hour each. You don't even need another pitch. So De La Cruz strikes out swinging. First pitch sinker to Bell. He grounds out to third. Berger, infield single to shortstop. There goes the no-no. But it was off a changeup. But all he did was barely get the bat out through the zone and tap it out to short. And it was such a slow hit ball that it was a single, base hit. And then Myers, who put up a good at-bat, 6 pitches, strikes out on a slider, just enough breaking stuff to keep him honest from Sanchez, an 86-mile-an-hour slider to back up the sinker and the change. Phillies go 1-2-3 against Tyler, bottom 1, Stott, Turner, Bohm, with Harper, Schwarber, and Realmuto, of course, still out. So those 3 guys out of the lineup, makeshift for the Phils today. Sanchez back to it in the second. Lopez ground out, Anderson ground out, Rivera ground out. You know a sinker baller's on their game when they ground out, a couple strikeouts, ground out. You know what I'm saying? So he did that all night. Phillies, bottom 2, Marsh doubles to right, nothing after that. Good job by Tyler. Third inning for the Marlins, Brujan singles to left. Sanchez lines into a double play. Second to first, Brujan double off first. Cody Clemens was the kid on first, Rogers' son again. De La Cruz grounds out to Sanchez, and the inning's over. So through 3, they had only had 1 batter over the minimum for the Marlins. And then the Phillies, bottom third, nothing for them. 1-2-3, Stubbs, Rojas, Stott. After Stubbs walked, Rojas strikes out swinging. Stott hits it to the double play. Stott does. Top of the 4th for the Marlins, nothing. Bell flies out. Berger lines out. At least they're lifting the ball a little bit here. Myers grounds out to third. Phillies in the 4th, 1 hit, no runs. It was a Trey Turner double. He had a good game last night, too. Marlins in the 5th, 1-2-3 again. Lopez, and then 2 groundouts, Anderson and Rivera. Bottom of the 5th for the Phillies. They finally crack it open, get on the board. And that was what it was today, cracking it open with these two pitchers, right? Merrifield singles to left, Stubbs singles to right, Merrifield to third. Dun, dun, dun. Here they come, right? First and third, nobody out. Not so fast, my friends. Rojas strikes out swinging. And then you have Stott grounds into a fielder's choice to second. Merrifield scored. Stubbs out at second. Declan Cronin comes in for Tyler. Stott gets caught stealing, and there you have it. Top of the sixth for the Marlins. 1, 2, 3. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Brujan, Sanchez, De La Cruz. Nothing doing there. Bottom six for the Phillies. Nothing. 1, 2, 3 for Declan Cronin, who was fantastic today. Sanchez pitching for Philly still in the seventh. Bell, Berger, Myers. Bell flies out. Berger ground to second for Myers. Bottom seven, Philly. Declan Cronin, Castellanos leadoff single. Clemens strikes out swinging. Merrifield looking, and then Stubbs lines out to short after the stolen base from Castellanos. He goes to third on an error by Sanchez, the catcher, Sanchez. And then top of the eighth for the Marlins. They finally get a hit. Lopez leads off with a single to center. He's been good lately. Anderson grounds out the third. Lopez on second. Rivera pops out. Brujan strikes out swinging. That's it for them. Bottom eight Phillies. Rojas doubles to center, goes to third on a wild pitch by Fauché after it was a bouncer up the middle. A bouncer up the middle, and he ends up on second base. Unbelievable, man. I love that. I'm a Marlins guy. I'm pumping my fist looking at it. That's how you play ball, man. That's how you play ball, Rojas. That was dope. Stott hits the sac fly. Rojas scores. That's all she wrote. Marlins ninth. Good Lord. Sanchez still throwing 96. Sanchez, the first hitter. He's throwing slider, changeup, 2 off-speed pitches. De La Cruz, sinker at 95 still. He lines out to right. Bell strikes out swinging on an 86-mile-an-hour changeup. He threw him 2 95-mile-an-hour sinkers, backed it up with 2 86-mile-an-hour changeups. That should be illegal. It should be illegal. Can't hit it. You're not allowed. You're just not allowed. So that's how it happened out there today. Not a whole heck of a lot of offense. Good job by Kyle Tyler. The Marlins pen held it down again, but it was all about Sanchez today for the Phillies. And the bullpen was really good again for the Marlins. What's out? Oh, yeah, Harper and Schwarber, 10-day IL. They joined Romuto there, so it's all defense for the Phillies now. Luckily, they have 2 more games against the Marlins, and it'll only be a week till those guys come back if you're a Philly fan. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Thank you so much for being here every day. You day-by-dayers, we love you. Here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're here wherever you get your podcast on the audio side and on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. We're going to take a break, come back, wrap it up, look at the recap, see what we missed. We never miss anything. And get you ready for tomorrow's game. Numbers, the lines, the overs, the unders, everything you need to know to be ready for the series, the third game of the series. Tomorrow in Philadelphia. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, na, na. And there we go. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. That's right, man. Unbelievable, okay? I love going to Major League Baseball games. I was telling you in the last break how much I love it. Those summertime stories. I remember so many times going on trips. I'll tell you one. I was 7 years old, okay? I was actually 8. It was 1980. And I love the We Are family. Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, Pittsburgh Pirates, Kent Tekulve, get out of here. Come on, they had the hats with the stripes around them, all the stars on them. Pops was the man. Parker out in right field with the cannon for an arm. And then that team won the World Series, beat the Orioles in '79. Fell in love with Pops, the way he used to go like that to the bat, Willie Stargell, right? So I begged my dad to take me on a trip. He takes me to Three Rivers Stadium, and I saw those Pittsburgh Pirates, and I went to the stadium at that time where the Steel Curtain was playing, even though they weren't playing that day, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So those kinds of memories, those are the kinds of memories that you can get with Game Time, right? It makes it so much easier for you guys. My dad had to just walk up and get them at the box office, right? But for you, Game Time, authorized ticket marketplace, Major League Baseball, makes getting tickets faster, makes getting tickets easier. The prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat right in the app, and their lowest price guarantee. They take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. I've been so many times on these trips, and now with Game Time, think about the features of the app that make it so easy for you to use it, right? Let's customize this for you a little bit here. It's easy to find and buy MLB tickets for every kind of event in your area. You get views from all seats in the venue. You get the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, all that. Last minute deals up to 60% off buying last minute, sports, comedy, theater, concerts, all that stuff. Flash deals where you save even more, exclusives in the app. Zone deals, you pick a zone, they pick your seats, all in pricing, shows the total up front, no surprises at checkout. Seat views, panoramic. You're going to see what the game's going to look like from your spot. Lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. You're going to make money if anyone beats their price. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry with Game Time's ticket coverage. All those things take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. They not like us. They not like us. Locked On has launched the first ever National Sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channels app. It's Locked On Sports Today. It's available, and it's free. It's available on YouTube, here for you 24/7, covering the top stories of the day with local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app. Getting it done here today. Getting the business done. Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to play around. What is this little M&M for you there? I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Locked On Marlins postcast. 2-0 Phillies get the win. 3-hit shutout Christopher Sanchez. 9 Ks. No walks. They never walk. They got 3 hits. No extra base hits. Only 2 guys made it to second base tonight in a Miami uniform. And on a night, on a day when Bryce Harper was put on the 10-day IL with a hamstring strain, on a day when Kyle Schwarber was put on the 10-day IL with a strained groin. Of course, Real Muto's already there. Christopher Sanchez carries the flag for the Philadelphia Phillies and plants it right in the chest of the Miami Marlins. 2-0, 9 strikeouts. Man, it's just unbelievable performance by him, and I can't say it enough. Devastation, 96-mile-an-hour sinker. Devastation, 85-mile-an-hour changeup, 82-mile-an-hour slider. You just have no chance as a hitter when those pitches are popping, especially earlier in a game when it's the shade on the field and the sun's out. It's, oh, man, it is not easy at all. You know, these guys just trying to get it done through those circumstances. And I'll tell you this, guys. The Marlins scratch, they claw, they always do. They always do. But the Phillies have 4 aces, man. They have 4. You're seeing all 4 this weekend. They have 4 aces. The 3 top ERA leaders in the National League are Philadelphia Phillies. All 3. And you get 2. Well, Nola's not one of them. You get him tomorrow. You get Ranger Suarez on Sunday. After you get Zach Wheeler, after Christopher does this to you, Sanchez. It's just not right, man. It's not fair. Sanchez was that sinker. Remember when Kevin Brown was on his game? If you remember back that far, no one could hit that ball, man. That sinker dropped off the face of the earth, and that's what Sanchez does. So before we get out of here, we're going to take a quick look at the recap. Make sure we didn't miss anything for you here before we get on out of here, and take a look at tomorrow's game real quick too, so that we can where is it? Nope, there's no recap on here yet, is there? Wait a minute. Hold on one second. We can get you ready for tomorrow's game and get you on out of here. There it is. All right, usually we don't miss anything, so we'll be here for it. Here's the recap, just to make sure that we covered everything here on the show today. Christopher Sanchez, Christopher without an H, by the way. You better be fancy. You throw the ball like that. Pitched to shutout. Bryson Stott drove in both runs. No hits, by the way, for Stott. A sac fly and an RBI groundout. That's my information, not theirs. And the Phillies beat the Miami Marlins 2-0 on Friday night in the first contest without Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber in the lineup. Trey Turner, Brandon Marsh doubled for the Phillies. They improved to 54-28, Major League Baseball best record, otherwise known as baseball. Sanchez 6-3, making his second start since signing that 4-year, $22.5 million contract extension looking like it should have been $225 million. Allowed 3 hits, struck out 9, walked none for his first career complete game. He's 27, he's a lefty, retired 14 consecutive batters. There's something we missed. Before Otto Lopez leadoff single in the 8th. Actually had that, but I hadn't said it yet. Lopez was the lone batter to reach second base after advancing on a ground out. Sanchez said it was incredible. Nothing is impossible if you want to do something. You just have to focus and work really hard. I agree. Look at this show. We love it every day. Sanchez lowers his ERA to 2.41. 73 of his 101 pitches were thrown for He's come so far, Rob Thompson, Phillies manager, said. Now he's a dominant pitcher in Major League Baseball. He'd be a number 1 on a lot of teams. Yeah, teams without 4 aces. Good Lord, man. And Skip Schumacher said he's one of the better young pitchers in the league, if 27 is young. First and third for Philly. With nobody out in the 5th, they went ahead on Stott's ground out off Kyle Tyler, scored Whit Merrifield. They tacked on a run in the 8th. Yohan Rojas, base hit to center field, turned into a double, just a little bouncer up the middle. Goes to second base, goes to third on Faucher's wild pitch, scores on Stott's sac fly. Harper and Schwarber, 10-day injured list, hurt in Thursday night's loss against the M's. Harper strained his left hamstring, running the bases, and Schwarber strained his left groin, making a throw from left field. Bummed to go on the IL, Harper said before the game. Never wanted that to happen, obviously, but it was the best decision for our team. Hopefully get back in the smartest way possible and quickest way as well, starting at first base in the All-Star game. He wouldn't specify a timetable for his return, saying he hopes to be back as soon as possible. He's hitting .303, 20 homers, 58 RBIs. The 2-time MVP extended his hitting streak to 12 consecutive games with an RBI double in the first inning on Thursday. Cody Clemens and Rojas came up today to replace Harper and Schwarber. Munoz going to pitch tomorrow against Nola for the Phillies. Roddery Munoz 1-3, 5.8. Nola 9-3 with a 3.99 for the Phillies. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. Your Locked On Marlins postcast on your, It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. And, of course, tomorrow is the 3rd game of the series on a Saturday in the park. It's not quite the 4th of July. The Phillies are minus 270 favorites. The Marlins plus 220. The total is 8.5, minus 120 on the over, even money on the under. And the run differential at plus 1.5, plus 110, and minus 1.5 on minus 130. So how about that for you tomorrow? Look, it's Munoz, it's Nola. The Marlins are going to get 2-hit or 3-hit again. I mean, take the Phillies in the under. That's all I'm going to say about that. But what can I say? What do I know? But I meant it when I said that's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. You're Locked On Marlins postcast on your Friday. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. 1-1 in this series in Philly after Christopher Sanchez goes filthy on the Marlins. And what a game by him. 3-hitter, 9 strikeouts, no walks, complete game. You know what that is? If you're under 40, under 35, complete game from a starter, any idea? Yeah, I hope so. Well, now you do. Thanks to Christopher Sanchez. Tomorrow it's Nola. Tomorrow it's Munoz. We'll be on right after the game with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Want to thank you profusely for being here, your day-by-dayers, and all the rest of you every day as we bring you your Locked On Marlins postcast. We'll see you tomorrow, Fish fans. Keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. We are out.